Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here a few days a week. Today is my Penny day. I'm off. I don't work on Fridays. It's a day for me to relax and get in touch with myself and just reflect on the week. So today is a very important day for me. Today is the day that I punched into the United States of America. I landed in this country on January the 24th of 1993. So today marks 32 years of me living in this beautiful country. I was only 19 years old. And if you really ask me what I think, I still look 19. Right? I'm not, but I look 19. How are you? Good evening, Elwin. So we have to celebrate little things. It's a little thing for me, that God gave me a chance to be here for 32 years. The children that were born are 32 years old. The children that were, like my niece was 8, she's 40 something. It's the little things. So I come to the park almost every day. I go to the park. There is the park, and I like the park because it's quiet space. There's no one here, and I'm able to take my time and just be me. So now I left Kenya when I was very young. I left high school. I was out of high school for a year while I was waiting for my I-20 to come to America. And for the most part, I never made friends. So I don't remember really having any kind of friends because I grew up in the village and our neighbors were very far. I did not have a traditional childhood where I would go to the neighbor's house to play. My friends were my siblings. My neighbors' houses, I never went there. So I kind of reflect back, and I find it very easy for me to be by myself because I got used to being by myself. I'm kind of used to it. I don't see anything wrong with me just getting up and kind of minding my business. I went to boarding school from 6th grade to 9th grade. I was in boarding school for, half of my childhood. And then I went to high school in a girls' school for 4 years. And basically I left Kenya without making meaningful relationships. That's what I want to start with. I don't have a friend in Kenya that I can tell you that I was a friend with. I don't remember having friends. While there's nothing wrong with that, I kind of admire people who have had childhood friends. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to build those relationships. I don't feel bad about it. I'm fine because I don't know anything else. You can't miss what you don't know. I see people who've been friends for so long and they travel together. They are raising their children together. I have 2 men friends that I work with that have been friends since 8th grade, and they started a business together right after high school, and they have a big business, and they've been friends for such a long time. And those 2 friends do inspire me because one of them went to college, the other one didn't go to college, and the one that didn't go to college fell into alcoholism. So while he was in that phase of struggling with alcohol, his friend came and he had finished college, he was working for a bank, and told him, what, let me help you find purpose so you have something to do on the weekends instead of drinking every weekend. And they started a business that is making them a lot of money, and it's something for them to do. And I see them together. They show me pictures of them from middle school, I think from middle school through high school. Their graduation, amazing. It just brings me so much joy. So I start with that to say that those of you who are blessed to have friends, be grateful. Why do I tell you that? I found myself in this country very much alone. I came to my brothers who are older, and my one brother was probably in his, I think he was 36, and the other one was maybe 40, and they were old, and I was 19. They were old, and they were relaxed. Whatever I wanted to do, they didn't want to do. I wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to go to the club. So I spent about 2 years in the house, going to school, coming home, going to school, coming home. And after some time, I just don't remember how I started meeting my husband's friends. Oh, through my nephew. I was living with my brother and my nephew and my husband were in the same school. And that's how I came to get connected with the Kenyan community, with children who, with the other kids who are my age. And I started hanging out with them. We were good friends. I remember the first one friend that I met. His name is Collins. He's remained to be my friend. Actually, he's my first friend in America. He would call me, I would call him. We remained to be friends for so many years up to now. You know, I could talk to him, and it's in the process of me talking to him that, you know, I asked him if he knows anyone, because he was already seeing someone, and I don't think he didn't want me, and I didn't want him. I don't think no, we were good friends, but he told me he was gonna help me. So it's in the process that he introduced me to you know, not even introduced, he brought the idea of like, oh, maybe you like my friend Abu, what do you think? So we are like, yeah, you know, let's hook up. And you know, we hooked up, and then I think I must have gone to his house, and Abu was there, and you know, we are hanging out. There was another guy from Ghana who was Abu's friend. They used to work at UPS, James. I met James. In the midst of all that, you know, I started hanging out with them. The most interesting thing that my husband still laughs about today, I came with a book. I always came with a book, just in case I got bored, I could read. that has always been me. So, you know, the one time I brought the book, and it was going to be a date between me, my husband and another friend, his friend James. So they were supposed to leave work, and then they were going to come and I think pick me, or I was to drive there. Whichever way, we ended up at his friend's house called James. So again, I brought my book. And you know, I arrived there, and you know, the boys, it was a Friday night, the boys had put in, they were loading and offloading UPS trucks. The boys were tired, and the boys were having a good time. They bought a few drinks, but you know, my brothers had already told me don't drink and drive. So I was there with my book. I sat in a corner, and I was just, you know, flipping through pages. And after a while, you know, looking at the boy that I'm trying to be dating, and I'm like, okay, now this is the man we came to look for in America. Okay. And then his friend James said, come on, Penny, get up and dance, get up. So I put the book down, and we started dancing. And then he was like, he was an older man. James was an older man. And he told Abu, come on, don't be afraid, man. Get close. Abu got close. Abu was 23, I was 21. Get close. We got close. We were dancing, and you know, now my husband, you know, his waist was 28. Let me tell you, the boy was small. I was small, but the boy was small. Then I'm saying, okay, where are we going with this? We danced, and then James is saying, don't sit down. I didn't even get to my book. Anyway, in the midst of that, I was nailed a kiss somewhere here. Hey. I felt fireworks. I'm like, hey. Okay, now, hey, I got a kiss. Hey. That was a first date, romantic date. I was given a kiss. unfortunately, this man never asked me, do you want to be my girlfriend? So I didn't get a chance to be asked if I can be his girlfriend. That's what I'm hearing. Some people are being asked, do you want to be my girlfriend? That is how my husband made me his girlfriend that night. And then, you know, I was like embarrassed. I was from the village. I just say, hey, I'm kissing men here in America. Hey, I was embarrassed. And that's how I found me a husband. Just like that. We started talking. You know, we were talking for a couple months. We did a few trips. And because I've always liked to travel, we went to DC. You know, we are still trying to, like, nothing serious. And then eventually he's like, yeah, you know, I love you. Then he said, I love you. I love you too. Hey? Me, I'm like, hey, I've been here in America. I'm not even seeing anybody coming. And then I told him, okay, if you want us to get serious, come meet tell my brother, and then let's go to the doctors. You know, our time we were dating, or you know, during our season, there was a lot of HIV going on. But my brother, who worked for Planned Parenthood then, told me we needed to do a HIV test or STD test. And Planned Parenthood used to give it for free. So I said, hey, okay, let's make an appointment so we can move it a notch higher. Anyway, we went to the doctors, and we got checked, and we were very happy lovers. And we've been very happy lovers 30 years later. Yeah, we've been together. So I had to give you that story. So I think my loneliness ended up there because now I had a man. And then once I had the man, me and this man became a handbag. Okay? I was his pocketbook, he was my pocket, I was his wallet. We were like this for 4 good years before we had children. And I've been clinging, he's been clinging, we've been together up and down, we've traveled the world, we made love and made children. We have 4 wonderful children. And I just want to speak to the young people. My story is, I feel it's a beautiful story. It's a lonely story for me because I really never got to enjoy friends. And I come here to encourage other people who are feeling lonely and you don't have anything going on in your life. You're feeling so lonely. You're single. You don't know what's going to happen. I want to tell you to take courage today and walk alone. Okay, sick or single, I'm married now 30 years. Take that courage of removing yourself from a group of people. You could be with a group of people and you're lonely. And I picked this book to come and read it to you guys before I take my walk, because I'm not afraid to give you the story I just gave you. That is my story, and for me it's a beautiful story, how I found myself in this country. Some of you are afraid to be alone to start your journey. My greatest fear in life was not being able to afford food to eat or not having a house. And I really wanted a car. A car was at the top of my list, and running water and electricity. Things that my children don't even know mean anything, but they mean something to me. Food. There's plenty food in my house. There's so much, you know, water everywhere. Those things, little things. But it's those little things that made me to want more. I want to talk about fear. Fear, when as I'm reading this book, I don't think I've ever been afraid. Once I accepted Jesus Christ at the age of 13 and I got baptized, I've never known what fear is. I've never been afraid of something. I was afraid of turning 18, not being able to afford food. That was my fear. I was afraid of not having my own house where I could make my own rules. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of the dark. I don't want to live in a place where there's no electricity. I didn't want to walk to do food shopping. I wanted to be able to drive a car. Those are the little fears that I had, and I had to face those fears and overcome those fears so I can just live free. Now, I was never afraid of my parents. Once I grew up and figured out what was happening in my home, which was polygamy, once I realized that my mom was a third wife, and then my father had several other women, and as a Christian, once I looked at that equation, I just figured that my parents had made wrong personal choices that put me in that situation. But I respected my parents a lot because my mother had learned from her mistakes of, making that choice to come into a marriage that was already existing. My father was full of wisdom. He was very knowledgeable. He practiced polygamy because it was culture. And for the Seventh-day Adventists, we've learned about culture and tradition. We can't just suppress culture. We can't just make it go. Culture is what gives you the identity. But again, we choose what to take and what not to take. That is a personal choice you have to make. God has given you that ability to make a choice of what you want to do. So now, with that said, I decided at a young age that I'm not going to be afraid. I am going to walk up with my head high. I knew about America. I just wanted to come to a country that there was freedom. Like now, I'm enjoying the freedom, and I've enjoyed it for 32 years. I live a very good life. I am very happy with my life. Once I became a mom, my destination changed, how I do things. Once I became a wife, my destination changed because now I have another person that I have to think about. And then there's my mother I have to take care of. I was taking care of my father who rested. My whole world changed once I got married and had a family. But again, I cannot tell you I live in fear. So as I was reading this book, I came across a list of fears that have kept people where they are. And I read all of them. I don't see any of them. I don't have any of these fears. But I will read them for you. And these are common fears. And if you have any of these fears, you need to face them today. I challenge you, wherever you are, you're watching me, face your fears and be alone. I told you the whole story in the beginning to tell you I have been alone. By the way, why did I forget? I made this hat last night, right? Yesterday, I showed you a hat that my friend made for me. I went home, I have yarn, and I made this hat. So, I can crochet too, all right? Which side is nice? I made this hat in 2 hours. It was done, all right? Yeah. Okay, that's the work of my hands. Okay. So, if you have any of these fears, you need to work on them, okay? Number one, public speaking. For me, I thought it's never been a thing because I've always, spoken in front of people since I went to boarding school. Public speaking, meaning you are able to stand in front of people and ask or say something. You could be missing out on something because you're not able to even sit and talk on social media the way I'm doing what I'm doing right now, because it could be your way to market yourself, but you're afraid to come on here and speak the way I'm speaking. Put your phone and speak. Number two, being told no. Well, that's what I just said. I just didn't want to be in a situation where I was looking for food for me or for my children, and then I'm told no. So that fear of not having made me to discipline myself to work as hard as I can to come to a country where I can even get free food. If you're an American citizen, I can actually go on welfare and get free food. I will never lack food my whole life. People don't like to be told no. You need to be told no to succeed. Number three, changing jobs and starting your own business. I started my own business in 2012. That's how come I'm home on Fridays. I don't work full-time. I work part-time and I run my business. I don't want to say I was afraid. I wasn't. It really never occurred to me because I have a husband that provides. So when I quit my job, I didn't have the fear of bills, if I can put it that way. But if you are in a job that you don't like and you want to start a business, I know some of you who depend on yourselves, maybe you're a single mom or you're a single man, you might be afraid to quit your job to start a business. So I took that step of faith and started a business, but I had somebody who was supporting me. If you're not like me, what they're telling you is to start small. Put in your 9 to 5. When you come home, start small. Don't just quit your job because you need your 40 hours to pay your bills. But start your own business. I was not aware. I did not know COVID was going to come and my husband was going to lose his job. June of 2022, that's when it happened. Since June of 2022, we have been living on my income and the business that I started, that my husband funded in the beginning. Right? I have a small, successful business. And this business, when I quit my full-time job in 2012, I didn't quit knowing that COVID was going to come and my husband's job was going to end. I quit the job so I could be present for our children. And because I had a supportive spouse, I was able to quit my job, work 3 days part-time, and run my business on Saturday. And actually, back in the day, I was only doing Saturday. I didn't do Sunday because Sunday I went to church. So a lot of you have that fear. So don't quit your job, but start the side business part-time, slowly. Number 4, telling your supervisors, telling your partner, telling anybody of higher authority bad news or something that you want to tell your supervisor. There's something bad. You don't want to deliver bad news to anybody that has higher power over you. You have to overcome this. This is how good companies are built. A company that has an open door policy, it means you can go to your supervisor and let them know that something is not right. If you have that fear, it's affecting your health. Kimto, by the way, I made the hat yesterday. I'm so proud of myself. It took me 2 hours and I was done. I'm so impressed. After I had purchased another hat, I'm like, you know what? I can do this. So actually, you guys put orders. This could be another business. Number 4. Yeah? Telling your managers or anybody that has high power over you bad news or telling them something they should know. Okay? Number 5. Talking to people who are in upper management, right? When you're an entry-level employee, you go to your job, you're very quiet. And let me give you my own story. The company that I worked for before I came to work with the state, I worked there for 20 years. And when I was expecting the last child, I had my 3 children while I was working in that company. When I was having the last baby, I was having such a hard time going to work. So I spoke to my immediate supervisor. I was trying to see if they can create something for me to not to go to work every day, because the child was, I was 39, the child was sitting on my nerve, was pinching a nerve. I was not able to drive properly. So I went to the supervisor and she told me, oh, let me speak to the director to see if we can create something for you. When she went to the director, the director said, it's okay, Penny, just come to work once a week. And the other days, carry the work at home and do it. And she said, I know Dave will be okay with that. Dave is the owner of the company and the man is late. He's no longer there. Now, I had established a relationship with all these people. starting from the owner of the company, the director, the coordinator, the manager. I had this relationship going, but I didn't know I was going to have a child, and the child is going to sit on my on the nerves on my right foot that I was using to drive. So they are telling you that people are afraid of upper management. You need to know who is running the company that you work for, especially when you're on entry-level position. And if you do that, you just don't even stand a chance of growth. So get the courage, get to know, who is running the company, who's here. And the other thing that I gained in the process of knowing the upper management, because of the company that I worked for, I was able to attend a lot of trainings. Every time there was a training and I put my name up there to go to that training, I was selected because I had a relationship with those people in leadership. In any organization that you work with, make sure you're not, Americans say, kissing ass. You're not kissing ass. No, don't look at it that way. You're not tarot telling. No. Get to know these people, because when you need them, they're going to help you. The last one that this man collected was fear of failure. People are afraid to start a business, it's going to fail. Let me tell you, I have purchased items, I spent thousands of dollars, and I never sold an item. And I carry those things, I put them in the container, and I just drop them in the Goodwill, like in the bin. If I buy merchandise, I don't sell it for a whole year. I just toss it, because guess what? It's over. That's how come right now I'm running the business that I'm running, because I tried so many things and they failed. And I just toss them and try something different. So since 2012, I have tried different things. Okay. So, and then they're telling you the price you pay, for having all this fear. You affect your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is low because you're feeling afraid, okay? You feel powerless and frustrated. You sabotage your success. You live a very boring life, okay? So, I had to talk about that. And the last one, for us who are Africans, we are afraid of people. They didn't put it here, but for our culture, because this is an American writer, a lot of us are afraid of people. We are afraid of witchcraft. We are afraid of, I don't know, so many things. Don't give people too much audience of your time. Find your purpose, live your purpose, and don't think about the rest of the people that are looking at you. Because you know what? When you need food, you're the one who has to find the food. When you need a place to sleep, you're the one who has to find a bed. When you have children, when they are crying, you have to feed them. When you didn't pay the electric bill, they cut them, it's you. When things don't go right, it's your responsibility to fix those things. And the number one thing I want to tell people to learn, for me and my husband, we were grateful. We are always so grateful. And I tell him, we came from two families that our parents did not gossip. My mom has zero skills of gossip. My mom doesn't know anything that is going on with anybody. Never. She has no idea. Even our own kids, she's not even trying to mind them. She's just minding her business. My father was so busy with too many children, too many wives. My father had no time to gossip another person. There was no time to worry about people's businesses. It is a blessing that God brought such a man to my life. I am so grateful that I met my husband, because I cannot handle this gossip, petty things. You stop everything you're doing to talk about me, and I'm someone who can make a hat in 2 hours and sell. This hat, if I take it to my shop to sell it right now, which I might do today, I'm going to sell this hat for $40 or $50. And one person, one Mzungu, is going to buy this hat. I have a shop. I'll take this hat to the shop and I'll put it there. And I'll tell you, I have a skill you don't have. Why are you going to stop whatever you're doing to talk about Penny, who has a skill you don't have? You're wasting your time. Don't waste your time on people who don't matter to you. I don't matter to you. Even my own children do not understand me. My husband cannot understand me. My journey stems from a village in Nyandochevere. My parents could not understand me. Nobody understands you. So if you choose to talk about people, you need to create awareness to know that you're wasting time talking about people who are minding their business. I came here to the park to walk. I see several people here walking. We didn't tell each other, let's go to the park and walk. We are going to meet in the woods. We are going to walk. Don't waste time talking about people, because gossip destroys good communities. The gossip has costed people's lives. You tell somebody's husband something, you tell somebody's wife something, they go back and it becomes poison. God bless you. Let me get ready so I can go in the woods. I take my 20 minutes walk and create time. I go to the park. I come to the park because the air in the park is not polluted, right? The air in the park, there are no buildings, is nice and fresh. So you can walk around your complex, but there is so many things going on around the complex, right? There is pollution, but the park is trees. There is nobody in here. There is no noise. You're just going to hear animals, you know, playing the animal music, and you're going to just enjoy the quiet time. I come here for my lungs to breathe fresh air, so that way when I go to the light, so that way when I go to sleep, I have a good night's sleep. Let's go. We're gonna walk a little bit and then I cut you guys off. There's snow. All I'm looking for here is fresh air. Nothing much, right? Quiet time. The sun is not working for me. Fresh air, no noise. You're just going to hear the birds. You need fresh air for your lungs. Okay? So good people, face your fears. And can you see? There's snow on the ground, but guess what? People are still coming here to walk. While you are sleeping, people are coming here to walk. Yeah? So, have a beautiful Friday. Let me enjoy my walk. Don't be afraid. There's no one who's going to make it for you. You have to get up and make it yourself. There is beautiful fresh air here. If you guys don't know, leave your house, go to the park close by your house and take a walk. Believe me, your blood circulation, your blood pressure, right? Even the food that you've eaten is going to process well because you're breathing fresh air. That's why I like to go to the Poconos with the kids once a year. We go up in the mountains and breathe village fresh air, because the air where we live is polluted. Yeah, I'm losing network. This is beautiful. You wanna see the scenery? Yeah, very nice. Look how beautiful I look. You have to believe you're beautiful. Let nobody tell you you're not beautiful. You have to believe. You got it. You have to believe you are good. Believe in yourself. Even your parents, they're depending on you to make it better than they gave you. Yeah? And you can't do that if you keep complaining. And here we go. See how many footsteps are here? People are passing here, right? While you're in the house. May the Lord God bless you. Have a happy Friday and happy anniversary to me. I'm 32 years old in America, and I'm grateful. The most important thing for me, of course, is my family. I'm grateful that God blessed me with a family. I give you a little story how I got me a husband, and the rest is history. But I want to encourage you not to be afraid. Face your fears. Take that walk alone. Spend time alone. It's okay. And you know God will honor your hard work. Alright? Let me focus because it is freezing cold in these woods. Cheers and God bless you. Yeah, I'm gonna lose the network in here because it's there's no wires here to give us network. Okay.